Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in every life when inspiration is silent, motivation is missing, and excuses are loud. In that moment, success does not come from how you feel. It comes from what you force yourself to do. Because the truth is simple and uncomfortable, nobody is coming to save you. No perfect time is coming. No magical push will arrive. What changes your life is your ability to stand up even when everything inside you wants to sit down and say, "I will get this done." Discipline is stronger than motivation, and this truth alone has the power to change the direction of your life. Motivation is emotional. It rises and falls. Some days you wake up feeling unstoppable, and other days you feel empty, tired, and uninspired. If your progress depends on motivation, then your progress will always be unstable. Discipline, on the other hand, does not care how you feel. Discipline shows up whether you are excited or exhausted, confident or afraid. Discipline is the decision to act even when every emotion tells you not to. Most people fail not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity, but because they rely too heavily on motivation. Motivation is like the weather. It changes without warning. One bad day, one failure, one criticism, and motivation disappears. Discipline is different. Discipline is a system. It is a habit. It is a promise you make to yourself and keep, regardless of circumstances. When discipline becomes your foundation, your progress no longer depends on mood. It depends on commitment. Think about the most successful people in the world. They are not always motivated. They feel tired. They feel bored. They feel doubt just like everyone else. The difference is that they do not negotiate with their responsibilities. They do not ask themselves, "Do I feel like doing this today?" They ask themselves, "What must be done today?" And then they do it. That is discipline. It is quiet. It is repetitive. It is often uncomfortable. But it works. Discipline trains your mind to obey your goals, not your excuses. Every time you choose to act despite resistance, you strengthen your mental muscles. At first it feels hard. Your mind resists change because comfort feels safe. But each time you push through, something powerful happens. Your brain learns that discomfort is not dangerous. It learns that effort is survivable. It learns that you are in control. Over time, what once felt impossible becomes normal. Motivation asks for reward first. Discipline works without applause. Motivation says, "I'll start when I feel ready." Discipline says, "I'll start because it's necessary." This is why discipline builds long-term success, while motivation only creates short bursts of effort. Anyone can work hard when they feel inspired. Very few can work hard when they feel nothing, and those few are the ones who win. Discipline is also the highest form of self-respect. When you set a goal and follow through, you prove to yourself that your word matters. When you break promises to yourself repeatedly, your confidence slowly erodes. You begin to doubt your own ability to commit. Discipline repairs that damage. It rebuilds trust within yourself. It creates an inner strength that no external validation can replace. There will be days when discipline feels cruel, days when you are tired, overwhelmed, and mentally drained. On those days, motivation will be silent, but discipline will whisper, "Just show up." Not perfectly, not at your best, just show up. Even a small effort on a hard day keeps the habit alive, and habits, not heroic moments, shape your destiny. Discipline teaches you to delay gratification. It trains you to choose long-term growth over short-term comfort. While others choose rest, entertainment, and excuses, discipline chooses progress. This choice may not feel rewarding immediately, but over time, it compounds. Small, disciplined actions repeated daily create extraordinary results. This is how average people build exceptional lives. Understand this clearly. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is freedom. When you are disciplined, you are no longer controlled by your moods, cravings, or fears. You decide what you do, not how you feel in the moment. That is real power. That is independence. That is control over your life. Without discipline, talent fades. Without discipline, dreams remain fantasies. Without discipline, potential dies quietly. But with discipline, even ordinary effort becomes extraordinary over time. Discipline turns weakness into strength, confusion into clarity, and chaos into direction. So when motivation disappears, and it will, do not panic. Do not wait. Lean on discipline. Follow your routine. Honor your commitment. Take the next step. Discipline will carry you when motivation cannot. And if you stay disciplined long enough, motivation will eventually return, stronger than before, because progress itself creates inspiration. This is why discipline is stronger than motivation. Because discipline is reliable. Discipline is loyal. Discipline stays when motivation leaves. And in the moments when quitting feels easiest, discipline is the force that quietly pushes you forward, shaping you into the person capable of achieving everything you once thought was beyond your reach. Action creates clarity, not waiting, and this principle alone can break the cycle of confusion that traps so many lives. Most people believe they must first understand everything before they begin. They wait for confidence, for certainty, for a clear sign that they are on the right path. But clarity does not come before action. Clarity comes because of action. You move first, and understanding follows. You step forward, and the fog begins to lift. Waiting feels safe. Waiting feels intelligent. Waiting feels like preparation. But most of the time, waiting is just fear wearing the mask of planning. The mind says, think a little more, research a little longer, wait until you're ready. And while you wait, time moves on, opportunities pass, and doubt grows stronger. Action, even imperfect action, breaks this spell immediately. The moment you move, you gain information you could never gain by thinking alone. You will never feel fully ready. Readiness is a myth created by fear. No one starts with total clarity. Entrepreneurs start before they know everything. Leaders step forward before they feel confident. Strong people act before they feel brave. They understand that action itself is what creates direction. When you begin, you learn. When you learn, you adjust. When you adjust, clarity forms. Think about how confusion really works. Confusion thrives in stillness. When you do nothing, your mind fills the space with doubt, worst-case scenarios, and endless questions. But when you take action, even a small step, your mind shifts from imagining to experiencing. Experience is honest. Experience teaches. Experience answers questions that thinking never can. Action exposes truth. It shows you what works and what doesn't. It reveals your strengths and weaknesses. It turns assumptions into facts. Without action, you live inside theories. With action, you live inside reality. And reality is always clearer than imagination. Many people say they are stuck because they don't know what to do. In truth, they don't know because they haven't done anything. The fastest way to find the right path is to start walking. You may choose the wrong direction at first, but even that teaches you something valuable. Standing still teaches you nothing. Action builds confidence the same way clarity is built. Confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is something you earn through repetition. Every time you take action, you prove to yourself that you are capable of movement. That proof accumulates. Over time, uncertainty loses its grip because you have evidence that you can handle challenges as they come. Waiting also test pressure. The longer you wait, the bigger the task feels. The mind magnifies difficulty when action is delayed. What once seemed manageable begins to feel overwhelming. Action shrinks fear. The moment you start, the task becomes smaller, clearer, and more controllable. Movement breaks the illusion of impossibility. Action does not require perfection. It requires courage. You don't need the perfect plan, you need a starting point. You don't need to see the whole staircase, you only need to take the first step. Each step reveals the next. This is how clarity is built, step by step, not all at once. Life rewards momentum. When you act, even slowly, momentum begins to form. And momentum has power. It pulls you forward. It makes the next action easier than the last. Waiting kills momentum before it's born. Action gives it life. Understand this deeply. Mistakes made in action are more valuable than perfect plans never executed. Mistakes teach faster than success. They sharpen judgment. They build resilience. Waiting avoids mistakes, but it also avoids growth. Growth demands movement. Action also changes your identity. When you act consistently, you stop seeing yourself as someone who wants to and start seeing yourself as someone who does. That shift in identity creates clarity about who you are and what you are capable of. You are no longer guessing, you are proving. Even clarity about purpose is found through action. People search endlessly for their purpose, believing it will appear through thought alone. But purpose is discovered by engagement, not isolation. You try things, you explore, you participate, and through action, what matters to you becomes clear. Waiting feels passive, but it is not neutral. Waiting is a decision. It is a decision to let fear choose for you. Action is also a decision, the decision to take responsibility for your direction. One leads to stagnation, the other leads to understanding. Action creates feedback. Feedback creates improvement. Improvement creates clarity. This cycle only begins when you move. You cannot improve what you never start. You cannot refine what you never attempt. You cannot understand what you never experience. So when your mind says, "I'm not sure," respond with movement. When it says, "I need more time," give it action. When it says, "What if I fail?" answer with effort. Because clarity is not a gift that arrives before the journey. Clarity is the reward of those who are willing to begin without it. Force yourself to take the first step, not because it will be perfect, but because it will be real. And once it's real, everything becomes clearer. Do it tired, do it afraid, do it anyway. This principle is not about being fearless or endlessly energetic. It is about understanding a hard truth of life. Waiting to feel strong, confident, or ready will keep you stuck forever. Life does not pause until you feel prepared. Responsibilities do not disappear because you are exhausted. Opportunities do not wait for your courage to catch up. If you only act when you feel perfect, you will act very rarely. There will be days when your body feels heavy, when your mind is slow, when your spirit feels drained. On those days, your mind will suggest stopping. It will convince you that rest should come before effort, that tomorrow will be better, that today doesn't really matter. But today always matters. Today is where discipline is built, where character is formed, and where momentum is either created or destroyed. Being tired is not a signal to quit, it is a signal that you are human. The strongest people are not those who never feel tired, but those who refuse to let tiredness decide their actions. When you move forward while tired, you teach yourself that comfort is not in control. You prove that effort is possible, even without ideal conditions. That lesson stays with you long after the exhaustion fades. Fear works the same way. Fear does not disappear before action. Fear disappears because of action. Waiting for fear to go away only feeds it. Fear grows in silence and imagination. It weakens when confronted. The first step taken in fear is always the hardest. The second is easier. The third begins to feel natural. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is movement in its presence. Many people believe confidence comes before action. In reality, confidence is built through action. You don't feel brave and then act. You act, and then bravery grows. Every time you face fear and move anyway, your confidence increases. You collect evidence that fear cannot stop you. That evidence becomes strength. Doing it anyway is a decision. It is the moment you stop negotiating with excuses. It is the moment you say, "I don't need to feel good to do good." This decision separates those who make progress from those who only make plans. Plans feel safe. Action feels risky. But nothing is riskier than staying the same. When you work while tired, you build endurance. When you act while afraid, you build courage. When you continue despite resistance, you build identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who waits and start seeing yourself as someone who finishes. That identity changes how you approach everything in life. Understand this. Waiting for perfect energy is a luxury most goals cannot afford. Success is not built in moments of high motivation. It is built in moments of resistance. The workout that matters most is the one you almost skipped. The study session that changes your future is the one you did while exhausted. The conversation that transforms your life is the one you had while afraid. Your mind will always try to protect you from discomfort. It will exaggerate pain and minimize potential rewards. It will tell you that rest now is better than progress later. But growth requires temporary discomfort, and discomfort is not danger. You can feel tired and still act. You can feel afraid and still move forward. Doing it anyway also builds self-trust. Every time you show up despite how you feel, you send a powerful message to yourself, "I can rely on me." That trust is priceless. It creates inner stability. It reduces anxiety. It strengthens resolve. You stop needing external motivation because your discipline becomes internal. There is a quiet pride that comes from doing what must be done when no one is watching, and nothing feels easy. That pride does not come from results alone. It comes from effort under pressure. It comes from knowing you did not give up on yourself. Life will never remove all obstacles before you begin. There will always be fear, fatigue, doubt, and uncertainty. Waiting for their absence is waiting forever. Progress belongs to those who move forward with these emotions, not without them. So when your energy is low, lower your expectations, not your star. Indards. Show up and do what you can. Small effort is still effort. When fear speaks loudly, let action speak louder. Take one step, then another. Movement weakens fear faster than any thought ever could. Do it tired, do it afraid, do it anyway, because the habit of acting despite discomfort will carry you further than talent, motivation, or confidence ever will. Consistency beats talent every time, and this is one of the most uncomfortable truths for those who rely only on ability. Talent is impressive, but it is unreliable. It appears early, creates excitement, and often disappears when effort is required. Consistency, however, is quiet and patient. It does not demand attention. It simply shows up, day after day, doing the work that most people avoid. And over time, that repetition becomes unstoppable power. The world is full of talented people who never fulfilled their potential. They started strong, impressed others, and then slowly faded because they could not maintain effort. Talent without consistency is like a spark without fuel. It flashes brightly and then goes dark. Consistency turns even small sparks into long-lasting fire. Consistency works because life rewards what is repeated. Skills improve through repetition. Confidence grows through repeated action. Results compound through consistent effort. One powerful day will not change your life, but many ordinary days stacked together will. This is how average people outperform the gifted. They stay in the game long. Consistency removes pressure. When you commit to showing up regularly, you no longer need dramatic motivation. You don't need to be at your best, you just need to be present. Small actions done consistently reduce overwhelm and prevent burnout. Instead of relying on bursts of energy, you build sustainable progress. Talent often creates entitlement. Talented people expect results to come easily. When challenges appear, they become frustrated and discouraged. Consistency builds humility. It teaches patience. It teaches you that success is earned, not given. This mindset is far more powerful than natural ability. Consistency also builds discipline. When you repeat an action daily, it becomes part of your identity. You stop questioning whether you should do it. You just do it. That automatic behavior is a major advantage. While others debate and delay, you are already moving forward. Understand this: consistency does not mean perfection, it means persistence. Some days, your effort will be strong. Other days, it will be weak. But consistency means you do not quit. You adjust, you reduce intensity if needed, but you continue. Progress comes from staying connected to the process. Consistency creates trust, both internally and externally. You trust yourself more because you keep your commitments. Others trust you because they see reliability. In any field, reliability is more valuable than raw talent. People can work with someone who is consistent. Talent without consistency is difficult to depend on. The power of consistency is that it compounds silently. At first, results are invisible. This is where most people quit. They expect immediate reward and lose patience. Consistent people understand the delay. They continue working while others doubt them. Then one day, the results appear suddenly, and everyone calls it overnight success. Consistency also protects you during difficult times. Motivation fades, emotions fluctuate, life becomes unpredictable. Consistency acts as an anchor. Even when everything else feels unstable, your habits keep you moving forward. This stability is a major advantage in a chaotic world. Talent can open doors, but consistency keeps them open. Talent can attract attention, but consistency earns respect. Talent may give you a head start, but consistency determines who finishes the race. History repeatedly proves this truth. Consistency turns discipline into freedom. When your habits are strong, your decisions become easier. You waste less mental energy. You experience less stress. You gain control over your time and direction. That control leads to confidence and calm. Most importantly, consistency gives you the power to rewrite your story. No matter where you start, consistent effort allows you to improve. You don't need to be exceptional today. You just need to be committed today. Tomorrow builds on today. Next month builds on this week. Over time, small consistent steps create massive transformation. This is why consistency beats talent every time. Not because talent is useless, but because talent without consistency has no future. And consistency, even without talent, can build a life stronger than most people ever imagine.